Hello YouTube and welcome to tutorial number 54 in the Microsoft Visual Basic.NET program tutorials, and in this tutorial we're going to cover how to use Regex, what it is and all stuff like that. Basically, first of all, before I go into the tutorial, the reason I haven't made a video in the last 2 weeks is because I got like a really bad cold, and like I didn't want to make a video when it started all stuffy and shit, so I just postponed it a bit. I could have done it last week, but I just quite lazy to be honest. But videos continue from now, so about that, and here we go. Alright, so back to the point. Regex. If you don't know what Regex is, then Regex stands for, or is short for, regular expression. And a regular expression it's used when you want to parse or strip down text to find bits of information that you want to use. So for example, one example, let's say you have a list with people's details and it has like the name, address and phone number, and you put that into a string, and let's say you wanted to find the phone number of every person on that list. You could create a regex to create a collection of phone numbers, and then that would, like, the regex would be the format of the phone number. And another thing is, let's say you want to search web pages for emails, which is probably what you guys would probably want to do more, you little marketing guys out there. You could create a regex to search for emails in web pages, and then I don't know, save them to a text file, whatever you want to do. So basically it's a regular expression that you define, and it can be like, you can use wildcards and you can search through strings of text and then find matches to your regular expression. So today I'm going to use an example for regular expression for a game called RuneScape. I know a lot of my subscribers play the game because of the community that I get my subscribers from. So if you don't know what the game is, then don't worry. It's nothing to do with the game itself. It's just the source code of the website that we're going to be working with. So yeah. So what you need to do first of all is go to www.runescape.com, and then you go up to here where it says game guide and click on the Grand Exchange, and you'll see here there's a list of items that have gone up in price and that have gone down in price. And because of the nature of these tables, I know that each of these links here to different items will have like a particular format in the source code that is unique, and we can use that as a regular expression to take out every name that is in this list and this list. Okay, so what we're going to need to do first is code a little web request that will take the source code of this page right here. So you want to copy this and go to Visual Studio and create a new project, and we'll call it RuneScape Regex. Alright, so first thing we're going to need to do is just add a button which is going to initiate the request. We'll just say find items. Okay, right, double click that, and all we need to do is create a HTTP web request to get the source code of that page. And we've gone through this before, so you should have watched. It was in like tutorial number 30, but you should already know this. But all we need to do is declare, we'll call it request as system.net.http web request, and that is going to be equal to system.net.http web request dot create, and then in brackets and the quotations, paste the URL we just got. And what have I done wrong? Spelled that wrong, sorry. And then after that we need to declare the response. So declare response as system.net.http web response equals request.getResponse, and then we need to declare the stream reader to take read the text and then put it to a string. So declare sr as system.io.streamReader equals new system.io.streamReader, and in brackets response.getResponse response stream. Okay, now the final thing we need to do is take the text from stream reader and put sr dot. We need to get the string first that we're going to make it. So declare rs source code as string equals sr dot read to end. Alright, so we should know what this does already. This has got nothing to do with the tutorial really, but basically all we're doing here is we create a web request with the web page, which is the Grand Exchange homepage on RuneScape, and then we get the response, and then we take that source code to the web page and put it to this string rs source code, so now we can work with this string. Okay, so now we move on to creating our regex, and as I said, regex or regular expression is a regular expression that you will find in text that you want to parse out. Now it's pretty complicated and to understand at first, but I hope that you guys will understand that after this tutorial. If you're still lost right now, just try and go through the example and see if you understand it. Alright, so right click here and click view source, and this will be different for every web browser, but in Google Chrome it comes up as a new tab. And here we have the source code of the web page. So what you're going to need to do is find a regular expression, or like a pattern of the thing that you want to parse out. Now this is what I want to parse out every item in the price rises table and the price drops table. So I'm going to look at the first result, which is ingredients, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go to source code and type Control and F, which is to find, and then put ingredients, and you will see that right here the first thing we have is image, name, object, and this is just the code for showing the image of the item that is rose in price. And I can immediately see that this is going to be our regular expression, because if you look down here, it's exactly the same for the second item, which is Gorm Seed. Now the names are irrelevant, it's just the source code that we can see is the same here and here, with like one slight difference, which is the name, and also the ID here, but that doesn't really matter, we can get down to that later. So what we want to do is right click this, highlight it, and then copy it, and then go into with Visual Studio, and then we can just paste that in a comment so we have it for later, and we can start creating our regex. Okay, so the way you create a regex is just declare, and then whatever you want to call it, I'm going to call it R as new regex new regex equals no, not equals, it's just, I don't know why it's doing that. Actually we'll just system.text.regular expressions.regex, and then in brackets you need to declare what your regex is, your regular expression that you want to find, and this is it right here. So what we're going to do is paste this in the brackets right here, and the first thing you'll notice is that you have a few errors, and that's because HTML obviously uses brackets, and when you use a bracket, this thinks, okay, this is a string and that's where it stops. And to use a quotation mark inside a string, which is something I probably should have covered earlier, because I get a lot of PMs about it, is all you do is just add another one and use double quotations to use one. So we'll put one there, and we have one here, one there, one here, one there, and then there, and this is the final one, and now that is our normal string again. So that space at the end, and so now we have the normal string. That this looks like this right now, but just ignore all the double quotations, and now we can start to pick out things that change in our string. So if you look at it first, image name equals object, that's the same in every one. But now when you see src equals, sorry about that, undo, src equals, and then has a link, and you'll see that right here it has an individual code or ID for each item. So that's going to change each time, so that's not a regular expression. So what we do now is we add a wildcard, or a symbol for a wildcard. Now what we do is, first of all, we type dot or full stop, and what that represents is that in right here there's going to be that acts as a wildcard, and right here there's going to be anything that like anything can be here. Like it could be random text, it could be any numbers, whatever. So if you have this with like 666 here, and then that way that's 7 here, that will be picked up by the regex because this dot is saying anything can be between this forward slash and this quotation mark. And the next thing you need to do is add a star, and that signifies that it can happen like infinite amount of times, more than once. And now that we've done that, we have here alt equals ingredients. Now this is going to change as well, this alt name here. So we delete that, and then once again we put dot and then star. And now we've created our regex. This is the regular expression that is going to occur in the source code, and every time we see something like this we want to pick it out. So now that we have a regex, we can take the matches of the regex. So next line, declare, we'll call it matches, just call it whatever you want, as match collection equals r dot matches, and then in brackets we need to declare define the string that we want to find the regex inside, which is up here rs source code. And what have I spelt it wrong there, have I? Oh sorry, I forgot to do the import system of text at regular expressions. That probably would have fixed that as well, but you know, I'm quite tired. It's like 10 AM, I haven't slept yet, but whatever. So now that we've declared our matches right here, what this is saying is, okay, now the matches is r.matches and in brackets source code, whoops. And so what that does is takes this regex here, which is this right here, this text, and it looks for this text inside rs source code, which we declared up here as the source code of the Grand Exchange homepage.